Alapia. I'm Philip John Neimark, and I'd like to welcome you to the last iteration for the month of August of our weekly Ifascope. Comes up very close to the equal file for September, but one is for the month and one is for the week, so don't make a mistake on that. The energy this week is very clear. It is Ofun on the temporal side, and that is the Babalao's credo of using wisdom and knowledge. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean knowing a whole compendium of the encyclopedia. It means having the experience, having the know-how to have done, seen, explored, so that we know what is the right thing to do. We know it in here. It's no secret. But that's very difficult for people because they have to operate on their own sense of self. And they have to be prepared to back up that sense of self with others. It's very rewarding, and it's a great opportunity for them. But it's not so easy to do. On the emotional spiritual side, it's Ika. That is when you are approached or presented with something that resonates, or perhaps is even exactly similar to something you did in the past. It's time for halt. Halt, halt, halt. Because the likelihood, the vast likelihood, is that you don't want to do it the same way. In other words, it's a flag for being able to re-examine the past and to remodel the future. It would be very nice to say that this all came to rate, but unfortunately, it comes about like this. Off path, not terribly much, but nevertheless a little bit off path. And it's something that we have to deal with because, first of all, it will reflect on our health if we are not careful. So we need to examine closely why this was canted to here and not to here. Well, we can push it back to here. We'll get it. We're going to get it in the right place for you, but only if you understand, excuse me, what it is and what components you were utilizing incorrectly in order to have this kind of reading. And first of all, in some sense, you were doing your Ifa work incorrectly. You were not using the wisdom and knowledge. And what we have here is, the configuration of Ogunda. Ogunda is a sign where you should be finishing things. You should be getting them done. You should be concentrating on them, not allowing friends or relatives or even yourself to say, I'll get back to this later on. So look after that because it could be one of the main reasons that you fail in this area. And the second reason is Otura. Otura is a time when you get the input. You develop greater empathy. You ask other people's opinions. And then out of that consensus, you draw your own conclusions and you present them to them. So those two component parts are what are throwing us from here back to here. And it's going to manifest in health issues. We don't want that. So, what is the bow for the week? The bow for the week is, of course, Orunmila. Who better for the list of knowledge of Ifa? And that the bow that we offer is going to be fruit. There's a ting-ting, a little bell ringing, because fruit is always about children, family, extended family. So keep an eye on what displacement, what things you were doing wrong in that area or not being attentive enough. What you do is you take your Orunmila, 2 tea candles. I know you can use the big ones if you want. And fruit. You could take 2 or 3 pieces of, you could take an apple, you could take a pear, you could take a banana, whatever. You place it in front of the Orunmila. Light the 2 candles and pray for the wisdom, the knowledge to make the right decisions at the right time, and to be able to go smoothly up the path. Does that sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Love and blessings.